The Joker versus Light Yagami, the battle of chaos versus calculation. The Joker laughs as he spins in a chair in a dark room. Light Yagami is sitting across from him with his fingers crossed and his eyes cold. "So," Joker says with a grin, "we're just having fun. I have my everything else, and you have your little pad." Light doesn't do anything. He is already 10 steps ahead of him. He has already put Joker's name in the death note. Any second now, the Joker laughs out loud. There is no action. Light's eyes get bigger. Not possible. The Joker hits the table with his feet. "Kid, here's the thing. I have no idea what my real name is." His laugh can be heard all over the room. "You thought a book could kill me? No way. Death ain't my joke, buddy." Light makes his hands tight. He always wins. He has nothing to lose. Joker leans forward and smiles. "Ah, I love this part. That look a man gets when he knows he's not as smart as he thought." Light goes to get his pen. Jack flips the table over. This time, chaos wins. Darth Vader versus Sauron. The Dark Lords clash. As Darth Vader and Sauron stand face to face, the air crackles with power. One is a Sith Lord who is driven by anger and control. The other is an evil force from a long time ago that has tainted kings and broken worlds. When Vader lights up his red lightsaber, the bright light cuts through the thick darkness. When Sauron, in his huge armored form, lifts his sword, the battlefield shakes just from its weight. Vader is the first to attack. He lunges at Sauron with his blade pointed at his chest. There is no sound when the saber hits something. It doesn't bother the Dark Lord of Mordor. The armor is not just made of metal, it is bound with magic that Vader doesn't understand. In response, Sauron swings his mace with all the force of a castle falling apart. Vader barely avoids the attack and jumps backwards with the force. But before he can answer, he hears a voice. It's not the Crown Prince. It's not Obi-Wan. That's Sauron. Keeping quiet, calling. Vader has trouble breathing. The dark side has a weak spot in his soul that Sauron is probing. The fear of not being able to do anything. The Dark Lord clenches his hand. "You underestimate me." It's no longer just a physical fight. It's a battle of wills. There will only be one Dark Lord left. Frieza versus Homelander. The battle of cosmic tyrants. The air crackles as Frieza floats above the battlefield, arms crossed, smirking. Below him, Homelander stands, eyes glowing red, grinning with unhinged confidence. "A human dares to challenge me," Frieza sneers. "Pathetic." Homelander tilts his head, his smile widening. "Oh, buddy, I'm not human. I'm something way worse." Boom. Before Frieza can blink, Homelander rockets forward, fists aimed for his gut. But Frieza? He doesn't even flinch. He catches the punch with 2 fingers, smirking as Homelander's face twists in shock. You're not scared?" Homelander mutters. Frieza chuckles. "Scared? Of a bootleg Superman?" With a flick of his wrist, Frieza hurls Homelander across the battlefield, sending him crashing through mountains. But before the dust settles, a red beam slices through the sky. Homelander is back, unscathed, furious. "No one embarrasses me," he growls. His eyes glow brighter, full power. Frieza yawns. "Oh, sweetie, I haven't even transformed yet." The sky darkens. A golden glow erupts. This isn't just a fight. It's a battle of egos, and neither of them plans on losing. Voldemort versus Pennywise. The fear war begins. Voldemort steps forward, wand raised. "You dare challenge me, clown?" he sneers. "I have conquered death itself." Pennywise grins, razor-sharp teeth gleaming. "Oh, but Voldy, my dear, you fear death, don't you?" His voice slithers through the air, unsettling. With a flick of his wand, Voldemort casts Avada Kedavra. The green flash shoots forward, but Pennywise vanishes. A whisper echoes in Voldemort's ear. "You know what happens when you die, right?" Suddenly, Voldemort is no longer in the battlefield. He's a child again. Tom Riddle, trapped in an orphanage. Alone. Powerless. Pennywise feeds on fear, and Voldemort's greatest fear, weakness, mortality. "You're nothing without your magic," Pennywise hisses, towering over young Tom. "Nothing but an abandoned little boy." Voldemort snaps out of it, roaring in rage. He sends fire, curses, explosions. but Pennywise laughs through it all. The more Voldemort fights, the more his fear grows. Then Pennywise lunges, but Voldemort vanishes, apparating away just in time. Pennywise smirks. Oh, he'll be back. I tasted it. His fear is delicious. For the first time in his existence, Voldemort ran. Thanos versus Omni-Man. Strength versus ruthless brutality. Thanos stands firm, the Infinity Gauntlet glowing with unimaginable power. Omni-Man hovers above, arms crossed, unimpressed. You think you're strong? Omni-Man scoffs. I've turned civilizations into dust with my bare hands. Thanos smirks. Then show me. Omni-Man blitzes forward, moving faster than any mortal eye can track. He throws the first punch. A crater forms beneath them. Thanos barely flinches. He catches the second punch. Omni-Man's eyes widen. No one has ever stopped him mid-swing. Thanos tightens his grip. Bones crack. Omni-Man roars, swinging again. Thanos grabs his throat, lifting him off the ground. You kill for pleasure, Thanos growls. I kill for purpose. Omni-Man's vision blurs as the gauntlet crackles with energy. With a mighty twist, Thanos hurls him across the battlefield, smashing him through mountains. Bloodied, Omni-Man rises. Not bad, he grins, wiping blood from his lip. Thanos raises his gauntlet, ready to snap. But Omni-Man doesn't let him. With a sonic boom, he speeds in, crushing Thanos' arm before he can react. The gauntlet shatters. Now it's a real fight. No stones, no tricks, just fists. And Omni-Man doesn't lose those fights. The Riddler versus Hannibal Lecter. Mind games get deadly. The Riddler sits confidently in a dimly lit room, tapping his fingers on the table. Across from him, Hannibal Lecter, calm as ever, sips a glass of Chianti. Riddler leans forward. A man walks into a room with no windows and Hannibal interrupts. Edward Nygma, absent father, an obsession with proving your intellect, a deep-seated fear that, despite all your riddles, you are still just a joke. Riddler freezes. This wasn't part of the plan. Hannibal smirks. Tell me, Edward, do you solve puzzles? Or simply hide behind them? Riddler scoffs. Nice psychoanalysis, but this is a game, Lecter. Here's a real riddle for you. He slides a note across the table. Hannibal reads it. A poisoned needle is embedded in the paper. Without hesitation, Hannibal bites his own hand, forcing himself to bleed out the poison instantly. Riddler's eyes widen. You expected intellect but not instinct, Hannibal whispers. In a swift movement, he lunges, a knife in hand. The Riddler tries to escape, but it's too late. The last riddle he ever hears is whispered in his ear. What's sharp, cold, and cuts a fool? Answer, this knife. Silence. Agent Smith versus Ultron. The AI war. The digital battlefield glitches and distorts. Reality flickering like a corrupted video file. Two minds, two programs, both designed to dominate. Agent Smith steps forward, his face twisting with cold amusement. I've seen your kind before. Machines who think they're gods. Ultron tilts his head. You talk too much. Without warning, Ultron launches thousands of copies of himself, his consciousness spreading like a virus. A sea of metal swarms towards Smith, but Smith laughs. He extends his hand, and in an instant, Ultron's drones begin to morph. Their faces twist, distort, and become Smith. Ultron pauses for a fraction of a second, processing the impossible. His army is no longer his. You can't infect code that is constantly evolving, Ultron growls. His form begins to shift, rewriting itself faster than Smith can copy. The battlefield becomes a war of adaptation. Smith spreads like a plague. Ultron evolves faster than a virus. The universe itself begins to crack under their digital war. Whoever wins won't just control the battlefield, they'll control reality itself. And then, they both realize the terrifying truth. This war may never end. The ultimate betrayal. Alliances are shattered. The battlefield is drenched in chaos. The bodies of fallen villains litter the ground. Frieza's golden form lies motionless. Light Yagami's death note burned to ashes. And even the Joker's laughter has finally gone silent. The last five remain. Thanos, Omni-Man, Vader, Hannibal Lecter, and Agent Smith. They stand in a tense circle, bloodied but unbroken. "We need to unite," Thanos declares. Gauntlet cracked, but still radiating power. "Together, we rule this reality." Omni-Man wipes the blood from his lip. "Agreed. But who leads?" Silence. Then, betrayal. Hannibal lunges first, a hidden blade slicing towards Vader's throat. But the Sith Lord anticipates it, lightsaber igniting in an instant. Hannibal's head drops before his body hits the ground. Omni-Man speeds behind Thanos, fists glowing red with Viltrumite rage. He swings, but Agent Smith duplicates, absorbing the impact. Suddenly, Thanos grins. Predictable! With a final snap, the battlefield trembles, but no one disappears. Omni-Man smirks. "Your stones don't work in this realm, Titan." Thanos turns. A red-gloved fist meets his face. The war for ultimate evil is just beginning. And just like that, the battlefield falls silent. The strongest, gone. The smartest, outplayed. In the end, evil never unites. It only destroys itself. But tell me, if you had to bet on one villain surviving, who would it be?